outline that we everything that's important. I'll miss some stuff. Katie will let me know that I missed it, and then at the end we'll have any questions you have. Let us know. Either myself or Katie can hopefully answer the questions. So we'll start off with uniforms. So it's taken, soccer.com is saying about 4 to 6 weeks to get those uniforms in. So if you haven't ordered them yet, please do so, just so that we want ideally everybody to have the same uniform kit for the Broomfield tournament, which is that second week in August, so August 12th. So if you haven't ordered that, please try to do that. If you're having any issues getting to that link, let myself or Katie know, and we'll help you out. But you should have gotten an email from the club directing you to soccer.com. So has anybody had any issues with that as far as the ordering? Okay. I know it's.
That it makes you order 2 pairs of shorts.
Did it make?
Yeah, it did.
I didn't
Yeah.
notice that.
Yeah.
You can't change it.
Okay.
No, I took me a second too. I'm like, where's the one?
Yeah. All right. So yes, if you have questions about that, let Katie or myself know. So summer pickup. Just like tonight, there's going to be optional pickup sessions. You can come to as many of those as you want. They're not mandatory at all. The idea is, if the girls are wanting to play, just get out here and play. So that's going to be kind of dependent on my my schedule with work and then vacation as well. So it won't be real consistent, but I'll make sure that I put it on Team Snap. Sometimes it's, sometimes you might only have 24-hour notice, but that's just because I'm not real sure what my schedule's like. So that will either be here or over at Sunset Middle School. So just keep an eye on that. Season. So we will start practices the week of August 2nd. So right now practices, we're planning on having them Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Probably 6 to. Yeah. So one thing I want to get an idea of today, I know where a lot of you live, but if you have a preference on practice location.
Firestone.
Yeah. So.
Left hand.
So I know we have. So how many families are east of I-25? And we have who else on our that isn't here is east of?
Maddie B.
So Sandstone is kind of a happy medium there. I live very close to this part, but I know that's not. If we were to have it at Sandstone, does that work? Does that work for most in the middle there? Okay. We have to wait on, kind of waiting on St. Vrain to get permits, and then I'll give Mike or the club my request on practice location, and then they let me know if that's going to be. But Sandstone is enormous, so I would, as far as practicing out there. So we'll get that information to you soon as far as a firm practice location. So this year, I was a little unsure on if we were going to be combining the groups or staying separate. Sounds like we'll be, when I say combining the groups, so green and white, we'll be a bit more separate than we were the last few seasons. Every now and then we'll still combine, or sometimes Mike might jump in and take this team, and then I'll jump in and take the green team. But it'll be a little bit more separate. And we have, I think, 17 on the roster right now. So there's a lot of players who are trying to combine both. The green team doesn't have as many, but trying to combine both teams would be that would be a lot for 2 coaches. So, but yeah, every now and then we'll do that. But for the most part, it'll be white team practicing, green team practicing. And I'm not even sure on. I'm guessing that Mike will probably be Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday as well, but I don't know that for sure yet.
That's what he had said.
Okay, thank you. See, I should probably email both of us, and I didn't pay attention. So Team Snap, is everybody? Does everybody have Team Snap on their phone or able to get access to it and being able to use it? Okay. I know it's a lot easier to use than Game Changer. So I know Katie absolutely hated Game Changer. Team Snap is a lot more user-friendly. So if you have any issues with that, let us know. But that'll be the primary means of communication. Everybody should have my number. It's never a problem. If you text me, call me. If you send me an email, that's never an issue. So don't worry about that. There's times where it takes me a little while to get back to you, but I will get back to you. But please, it helps me out, helps Katie out if you can update your availability on there. Maybe you put down maybe. So the options are yes, no, maybe. Maybe isn't real helpful. So if you could do a yes or no, or if you're just not sure if something's going on, just send me a text message and say, hey, Rosie may not be there tonight. We got something else going on, and then I'll just make a note of it. So, anything else on Team Snap, Katie?
I have a question.
Yes.
So, if we put something on Team Stat 6 several weeks out and we're not going to be there, do you still want us to notify you separately, or is that adequate?
Nope, that's adequate. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's more so I'd say for the maybe, like if you're just not sure, you're kind of 50-50. If you want to shoot me a quick text and just say we might be there. It's absolutely fine.
I think especially for games too, having updated, because hopefully 17 won't be an issue, but if we're short on players,
Yeah.
we want to know as soon as possible
Yes.
if we have to reschedule or do something for a game. So, and you'll get real tired of me annoying you if you don't mark your availability.
Yeah,
I'm
so
real
it-
persistent.
So those of you that are, so Katie's been the white team manager for the last several seasons. She's great at it. I appreciate the help. But those of you that are on the black team that didn't have as much interaction with Katie, she will communicate with you a lot. So just
She will annoy you.
I appreciate that. Just expect it. It does help me out a ton, so I appreciate it. So expectations. I think almost all the girls know this already. They hear me say it all the time, but I always remind them my expectations is number one, that they're having fun. I know that they're not going to continue to play soccer if they're not having fun. So I try to create an environment for the girls that number one, they come out and they enjoy themselves. I want them to develop a passion for soccer, continue to play it for as long as they can, even when they're old like me, still playing, still coaching. So number one, I want it to be fun. Number two, I always encourage them to work hard. So I will get on them about, let's go, effort. If I'm not seeing effort, then I'm going to say something to them. I'm not going to say it in a mean way, but I'm going to remind them constantly that, hey, you're not going to get better if you're not working hard. So have fun, work hard, and then number three, just be good to one another. So I talk about the golden rule with them. So I want them to, this is like their soccer family. There's going to be times where they're going to be in a bad mood or they're going to get on one another. But I want them to pick one another up. So if there's a teammate that I see that's consistently being negative or just what I feel like is being mean, then I'm going to say something to them. So I know that we have 17 different personalities on the team. We have some girls that are going to step up as kind of the vocal leaders, and we need that on the team. And some of that I'm going to let go. I'm going to let certain players kind of get on one another because we do need some of that. But if it crosses the line, then I'll say something to them. But I do expect the girls to be kind to one another, and hopefully if they're not comfortable coming to me, if something's going on, then they can say something to you, and you can let me know. Because I don't want it to be an uncomfortable environment for them in practice. I want them to be able to come out, enjoy themselves, and be in that just positive environment where they can come out, work hard, have fun, and get better. So I think everybody here knows me. We have a couple of new players that don't know me real well, but I'm very approachable. If you have an issue with something that I'm doing, I have no problem with you talking to me about it. You're not going to hurt my feelings. My only request would be, sometimes after the game it's never the best time to talk to me, so just wait a little while. Especially if the girls just played really terrible, I'm probably a little annoyed. So we'll just wait a little while and then we can chat about it. The girls will find out. They can talk to me about if they're not enjoying a certain position or they want to play another position more. They will know. They can come talk to me about it, and I may tell them like, no, I need you to play this position because that's where you're most valuable to the team. Or I may say like, yeah, I know you want to play that position. I'll try to get you in there, but I need you to play this spot right now. So the girls, hopefully it's that environment where they feel comfortable and they can express that stuff to me and we can talk about it. But please let me know if there's anything going on. I'd rather you tell me on the front end so I can try to address it. So as far as my experience. So I have played soccer since I was about 5 years old. So I love soccer. I was one of those kids that was extremely passionate about it. Always wanted to play. Always trying to organize pickup. I played in college. Coached high school soccer. Before I had kids, I coached with another club, and then once I had kids, I just started coaching them in rec, and then jumping in and coaching them as they started playing competitive. So I'm only telling you that because I absolutely love soccer, and I'm still passionate about it, and I want these, ideally these girls will develop that love and passion for soccer, and if they do, then they will continue to play, and they'll have fun, and they'll get better. So that's the whole environment that I want to create. As long as they're having fun and enjoying themselves, then they'll continue to play. They'll make better friends. They'll learn a lot of life lessons on the soccer. That's the environment that I want to create. Again, most of you know what I do as a job. So there are times, those of you that don't know, I'm a police officer in Boulder, and some of the responsibilities that I have can come up really quickly. So if there is something that comes up at work, like I said, if I can put it out quickly, but there are times where something comes up like as I'm driving to practice or right at the end of my shift. So I will communicate with Katie and get that information out to you as soon as I can, and we'll try to get the practice covered. It didn't happen a ton last season, so I'm hoping it doesn't happen a lot this season. But there are times where stuff comes up, so just so everybody realizes that. What else? So there are a few things that Katie will cover. So as far as the scholarships go, I think Katie can probably give you more information on that. I know we're going to talk about tournament fees. So with the tournaments, it's kind of a we'll agree as a sort of a team as far as which tournaments we're going to enter, and then the expectation is that everybody contributes to that fee for the tournament. There are fundraising opportunities, and Katie's done a really good job of setting up some of those fundraisers so that those will cover a lot of the tournament fees, and then in the wintertime, some of the optional training at like Longmont Indoor or other indoor facilities, a lot of that gets covered. One of the easiest ways is the King Supers card or the King Supers account. So if you haven't done that yet, that's a really easy way to sort of build up our team account, and Katie can give you information on that. What else did I miss, Katie?
What else did you want to film?
Your outline is a lot more detailed than mine.
I'm a detail person. I think just so the King Supers fundraiser, I put the name of the team and the code on there. So if you haven't done it, you can go online or on the app under the community rewards, and you only have to do it once, and it's there. And they send us a check every quarter. It's great. Mike has graciously agreed to be our team treasurer. Yay! So
Thank you.
he's going to be handling the money. I think Tam's going to be our tournament coordinator, so we'll be working together to try to figure that out. So if there's extra tournaments, I did put on there. So August 2nd practice. You said 5:30 to 7, so that's what I wrote down, but that might not be right. So
We'll let you know.
okay, somewhere around there. But week of August 2nd, and that tournament, plan for a tournament the first weekend of March. Plan for a Memorial Day tournament, just so they're on people's radars. And tryouts, I would think, will be that week after Memorial Day too, again. So just that's on people's radar. Let me forget.
As far as the Bloomfield tournament fees, so should we pay you for that?
You can either pay me or Mike. Either one's fine. I put Mike's Venmo on there. You can Venmo me if cash or checks are easier, whatever. I will do the registration for that probably. So either way's fine. So $75 is what we're collecting for that. So like $45 is the tournament, and then so we have a little fund to cover some indoor practices and whatever incidentals come up. We need a new tent, I think, for the team and some stuff like that. So unless Mike fixes the tent, he's working on fixing the tent. I put all of our contact information on the top there in case you don't have it. So if you need to get a hold of any of us, you should be able to do that.
And please, just another reminder on the fees. So please try to get those fees to Mike or Katie or whoever's collecting as soon as possible. They don't
Yeah, I'm paying for the tournament until you pay me. So, so I'd like y'all to do that. Oh, scholarships. So if your kid already qualifies for a scholarship, it is a separate form to apply for tournament fees. So I sent that out in one of the emails, but if you need it, don't have it, let me know, or it's on the website too. That goes to the St. Vrain office. So, and I think the way they do that is you go ahead and pay and they reimburse for that. So, and I think they don't always give you all of it. So I think that's a process. So if that applies to you, get that in to them. And I guess the other thing on the tournament, most people only mark Thursday's availability, but I'm assuming that everybody's available for the whole time if you didn't mark anything else. So if that's not true, let me know. Nobody marked no, so I'm assuming, I think we have 13, maybe 14, so I'm gonna go ahead and register if you're.
No, I think that's good.
Good,
I mean,
okay.
it'll be, the girls will be tired, but I think as long
They
as.
get a lot of playing time.
Yep. No, and with that tournament, the expectation is it's just kind of a warm up for the season. So even though we're going to be down several players, I think it'll set us up nicely for our league season because we're going to be playing 11v11. It'll be the first experience for the girls playing on that bigger field with more players on there. So I think it'll be good even if we are down a few players, and if we need to. I think it'll be fine. So I think we
Any questions? Oh, the King Supers thing too. You can get, grandparents. If you know people who aren't already, contributing somewhere else, we get more money. So last year we got. It's a significant amount of money. It can pay for a tournament, So that's actually how we paid for most of the tournaments last year. I don't think we collected for either tournament last spring. So because we had all that. We had talked about doing maybe another Chipotle fundraiser. Apparently we have to wait 6 months from the last one, but those are great. We've got $450 from Chipotle, so we'll do that again once our 6-month clock is rolled up. Tiffany was talking about doing a bingo fundraiser that we might do collectively as a pool, where we go run bingo at the Long Mountain Bingo Hall and make money. Yeah, so we thought that'd be kind of fun. The kids might enjoy that. So yeah. And any other ideas? If anyone has ideas, I'm open to them.
And teams can get pretty crazy with tournaments. So after at some point in the season, we can start talking about opportunities. But my feeling is that there are plenty of competitive tournaments in Colorado. So the girls could certainly get challenged with tournaments in Colorado. If there's ever a point, like my son's team, the parents for some reason were really, really wanting to go to an out-of-state tournament. So he went to a couple of those, but that gets pretty expensive. So I really don't care. As the parents, you guys can talk about that, and if at some point you want to do some other type of tournament, I don't particularly care. But that's not let the parents sort of talk.
Well, there's fun. I mean, like they do the Steamboat one in summer's fun, which we tried to organize for this year, but didn't quite work out. But that might be something to do next summer.
Yeah.
And not so far to go. Yeah.
A couple things that I saw I did not cover. So, again, most of you know this, and I don't think I'm going to have I know almost all the parents of this group, so I don't expect it to be a problem. But just to remind you, as much as obviously cheer for the girls, they love to hear you cheering for them. The less coaching coming from the parent sideline, I think the better for the team and the better for the girls, so it's not so confusing. So they're kind of hearing one voice. And then I know sometimes it's hard not to say something to the referee, but I really want you to try to not say anything at all, even if it is the worst referee we have ever seen, which sometimes happens. You're not going to hear me say much to the referee unless it's just horrendous, or if I think the girls are that they're going to get hurt. Or there's a possibility they're going to get hurt because the referee's letting stuff go, then I will absolutely say something to them. But you won't hear me say much. I'm not a coach that's going to yell things at the referee. That's just not my style. With the girls, you're not going to hear me. I will encourage them. You'll mostly hear positive encouragement. Sometimes there will be positional things, or I'll ask them to, just the coaching stuff from the sideline. But I try not to scream a bunch of stuff from the sideline. I want them to. I don't want to kind of joystick them from the sideline and tell them, hey, go here, then go here, then go here. that's part of their development is kind of learning as they're playing. So I will try to not be one of those coaches that screams all game long. Playing time. So everyone's going to play, but it won't necessarily be equal. So I will remind the girls of this almost every single practice that the playing time is earned. So if there's a certain player that isn't starting and they want to start, then I will, I'll talk to them about that. Say for you to earn a starting position, you need to make sure that you're putting in the effort at practice, and I need to see that. So everyone will play, but again, it won't necessarily be equal. And the girls will again be reminded of that every single practice that they need to put in the work. All right, any questions? Yes, either one of you.
I was just wondering about goalies. Is that just kind of wrestling, or do people know in advance if they're going to be playing goalie? Or?
Good question. So we're at the age now where the goalkeepers make an enormous difference. Right? I would prefer to have a primary goalkeeper, and Ayla right now is interested in doing that. She did a good job for the black team, and then she jumped in for a couple of white team games as well. She's tall, she's athletic, committing to that more of on a full. So I would say she's probably not going to play every single minute in goal, and I know like Cora is a really I don't think she wants. Maybe times where there's a couple other girls that half every 2 or 3 wants to get out in the field and run around a little bit, then I'll when I have 3 or 4 other girls that and they have if Ayla is just absolutely loving it and she doesn't want to come out, then she'll stay in goal. But the plan is to try to get her more training with Zach Gibbons, who's the kind of the goalkeeping coordinator. He's a really good coach and a really good goalkeeper. So get her more experience there, more help one-on-one with him or in that kind of group environment for the goalkeepers.
Joining 2 teams, do we have any idea on what division we might be playing in? What does that look like?
I'm sorry, what?
What division, what level?
Oh yeah. So do you remember where we were? I think Mike already put us in
bronze.
bronze.
And we were where?
White was in silver.
And black was in bronze.
So, but black won bronze. So.
So we'll see if
But that's just where we were accepted into the league. We were not accepted into a level. So I just got the email yesterday. We were accepted into the league. That was the requested level.
Okay.
We might not get it just because y'all won the division.
So yeah, we'll see. If the girls do really well, I would expect whatever division. My experience with the divisions is they can be pretty. It can just be all over the place. You have a few really good teams where you're like, oh man, they should not be in this division, and then some teams that are absolutely terrible. So I would expect that they'll, no matter what division they're in, I think they'll meet. There will be a variety of teams. There'll probably be some games where the girls dominate, and some games where it's very, very even, and then there might be a couple of games where the girls are really overmatched. And then because this is the first season of 11v11, I think there's going to be, we'll kind of figure out where they are, and then in the spring, hopefully things are even. And we can bump up to the next division. If it was about where it should be, then we'll stay. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, Mike has a lot of experience, and he's the best one to sort of gauge where he thinks we should be. I would rather have us. I want the girls to be challenged for sure. But if there's any doubt in Mike's mind, I know he usually will kind of bump down to the lower one if there's a question, because he wants the girls to he wants them to be challenged, but also wants them to have success. So yeah, we'll see. We'll get more information on that once we get the.
And I would expect regular season games will start the weekend after the tournament. So it's pretty quick. So hopefully we'll have a schedule about 2 weeks before that. So yeah, it's using a lot of time, but that's what usually happens.
And then the green team, is the roster like 14? So there may be a few players on white that are going to be asked to fill in regularly or semi-regularly on the green team. So I'll let those girls know beforehand. And because we're running with a roster of 17, there might be, if there's a conflict, there might be times where we play with 15, 16, and then green borrows a couple players. So we'll just kind of see how that goes. Any other questions?
On the practice shirt, the gray shirt, does it have to be the one with the jersey or with the number on the back? Or like the one that we ordered in our...
So the one you ordered in your kit, I think was, I think the gray shirt is the practice shirt.
So you want them to come with a gray shirt with their number on the back for each one?
You know,
I don't think it matters. If the gray shirt does have their number, and you couldn't opt out of it, like the shorts.
Yeah.
And they got gray shirts for tryouts. I don't think it matters, right? I think any gray shirt is fine.
No, I'm
Gray
not
shirt,
going
black
to be.
shorts.
I'm not picky on their practice uniform. They also got, I think most of them got a gray shirt in the tryouts.
Yeah.
So wearing that shirt is fine. I know that if your house is like mine, you have a lot of laundry that you're trying to keep up with. So I'm not going to make the girls do like push-ups or sprints or something because they didn't wear the right shirt. If you have a gray shirt available, have them wear it. If not, it's not a big deal.
Mike will though, since you're full training.
Yeah, if we're full trained as Mike, he might be a bit more strict about it, but I really don't care.
Just gray shirt, and doesn't have to have the number on it.
No. Any other questions?
I guess one more.
Yeah.
When we talked about the tournament that we're going to be playing in with 13, maybe 13 kiddos, does it work similarly to what we have in the past where green players could float down? Or are they too far apart at this point to make that spread?
Maybe. Do you know if they're playing in that?
They're playing in the same tournament.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
But
So
the
for-
first games or
They cannot. So
Okay.
because they play in the Premier League,
Yeah.
they have to have permission from the state
Okay.
to bring a player down at each time they bring a player down. So if it's for an individual game, Mike would have to or Ross would have to request permission to bring a player down. So we can play up. Anyone can play up, which I think is why we have 17 and then 14, because it's easier to go that direction. But you can't pull down.
I might check with the 2010 group if I feel like it would be helpful for the tournament to have another player or two. They might also be playing in the tournament though, but I'll check with a couple of those players and maybe try to get our roster up to like 14 or 15 since it'll be their first experience at 11 on 11 and probably they'll be very tired. So more subs would be good.
Is the 11v11, is that 90-minute games?
They're not going to be 90-minute games. I think, I'm trying to remember my son's games. They're going to be like 30 to 35.
I think regular season's 35. Because we played 30 before and it goes to 35.
And I'll give you more information on sort of the setup on the position formation we'll play. There's all sorts of fancy. Essentially, it's going to be something like a 4-4-2. With not the exact number system isn't like that. But if you can visualize 4 in the back, 4 in the middle, 2 up top, it's not going to be like a straight 4 in the back, straight 4 in the middle, 2 up top. But it'll look just for your own mindset or visual. That's kind of what it'll look like. There will be certain players in the middle that I really want to be the distributors, and the girls will know, like, hey, we need to try to get the ball. Like, Dominica loves playing the central midfield position. Evie likes to play that. So those will be the players that we want the ball going through them in the midfield and then distributing around. And the girls will know, like, I want them attacking as a group and defending as a group. So there shouldn't be a whole lot of separation between like our back line or our midfield. I'm going to really harp on them, push as a group. So when the ball goes forward, I want our back line pushing up as well. So we try to keep that ball forward. When we lose the ball, I want everybody everybody defending. So if our strikers are being lazy and not dropping back to defend, we're going to be hollering at them to get back and defend. They're not dropping all the way back to the defensive position, but dropping as a group to defend and trying to play kind of with space, but as a group and kind of tight as a group. So if you picture our whole group moving up together, moving back together, and the possession piece helps as well. If we, as a team, if we don't possess, then our formation, we're going to get stretched because we're going to get tired. So I will really harp on them on trying to keep the ball, connecting passes, possessing, and then at times when you have opportunities to go one-on-one and you have space, then I'm going to encourage them to attack like crazy. So, but again, I don't want them to be robots. I want them to have some freedom to make those decisions on the field as well. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm really excited to work with this group. I've already worked with almost all the parents. It's a great parent group. The girls are awesome. So yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Any other questions? All right, if you think of some, text me, email me, or Katie. The next things that'll come up on Team Snap will just be the pickup options. I'll probably send something out for some pickup this weekend. Just to get numbers out there, I'll probably to the green team as well. Sometimes some of the 2010 girls as well, just so we get more numbers out there. All right, and I know a lot of our girls get very intimidated when we're playing against the green players, and I want them to have the opposite mindset of rather than playing with effort, when they're playing against them to really push it and give maximum effort and look to get better. So a whole lot with that team, but when it happens, then I want them to get better.
Want me to end it?